he was so alive.
You think they know you're lying?
Hi and welcome to Select 10. In this video, we are going to count down our picks for top 10 best and new web series released in March and April 2022 on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, and HBO Max. As we know, there is so much good stuff coming to the streaming services, it was difficult to narrow it down to only 10 picks. But this list has variety of new shows to choose from. There are sci-fi shows, thriller shows, historical shows, and more. In essence, there is a little something for everyone. Despite how tough the choices were, here are the 10 best new web series, which you should watch now. Number 10. YAKAMOZ, S245. It is a post-apocalyptic series set in the world of Into the Night series, but instead of taking place on airplane, it takes place mainly under the surface of the Mediterranean Sea. The story follows marine biologist Armin, who is set to join in a research mission aboard a submarine, but when the sun starts killing everyone up above, Armin and his science crew need to get on board a military sub to survive as they try to figure out what is happening up above, as well as what the military sub's true mission is. But when the tensions arise between the crews, and especially between Armin and the boat's second commander, Umit, Armin must fight to survive with the crew as a conspiracy comes to light. The show has intense story and keeps you hooked throughout the season and definitely worth watching. And the show has 6.2 rating on IMDb. Number 9. The Girl from Plainville. It is an American drama miniseries created by Liz Hannah and Patrick McManus. Inspired by the true story of Michelle Carter, unprecedented texting suicide case, the series explores Carter's relationship with Conrad Roy and the events that led to Conrad's death and Michelle's conviction of involuntary manslaughter. The series also follows the events that transpire in the wake of that loss, as Michelle becomes fixated on acting the part of the grieving widow, while police and eventually prosecutors begin to investigate the circumstances around Conrad's demise. We also get to see flashbacks that explain how Conrad and Michelle met, and series also provide insight into the Conrad pre-existing anxiety and depression. And all of that adds up to what Michelle Carter did and why she did it. The series has received mostly positive reviews, with praises going towards the performances of lead actors. And the show has 93% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 6.5 rating on IMDb. Number 8. Ultraman. It is a Japanese animated series based on Ultraman franchise, and it is a sequel of the 1966 television series. The series is set several years after the first Ultraman series and follows Ultraman, Shin Hayata, who is now a defense minister and has no memories of how he became Ultraman and saved the world from the kaiju. But Matsushiro Ide, his former personnel in the Science Patrol, tries to help him recover his memories in order to eliminate new threats from the aliens. But when the alien Bemular finds out that Hayata's son, Shinjiro, started showing superhuman strength, the Science Patrol risks everything to give Shinjiro the top-secret Ultra suit to fight Bemular and save the world. In case if you didn't know, Ultraman is a very popular manga series, and if you are into animated shows, then you should consider watching this. And the second season was released on 14th April 2022. And the show has 73% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and 6.8 rating on IMDb. Number 7. The Flight Attendant. It is a dark comedy drama mystery thriller series developed by Steve Yockey, and the show is based on the 2018 novel of the same name. The story follows Cassie Bowden, a flight attendant who has a one-night stand with one of her passengers, only to wake up the next morning to find his throat slit. Instead of calling for help, she cleans it up and gets the heck out of there, setting into motion a series of events that will put her and her friends and family in serious danger. While she joins the other airline crew traveling to the airport in New York City, she is met by FBI agents who question her about the layover in Bangkok. But still unable to piece the night together and suffering intermittent flashbacks about it, she begins to wonder who the killer could be. If you like series on Netflix, then you will enjoy this one. And the second season was released on 21st April 2022 and has 88% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. And the show has 7.1 rating on IMDb. Number 6. Heirs to the Land. It is a 2022 Spanish historical series based on the novel of the same name and a sequel to Cathedral of the Sea. The series is set in 14th century Barcelona and follows Hugo Lore, a 12-year-old boy who spends most of his time on the streets, but his day is also spent in the shipyards, and his dream is to become a shipbuilding craftsman. Although his fate is uncertain, because Hugo's life is not easy, as he is a very lonely boy and his mother is forced to move away from him, but he has the support and protection of a respected old man, Arnau Estanyol. Overall, the series explores young Hugo Lore as he works to make a name for himself in 14th century and focused on the events taking place in Hugo Lore's life after Arnau Estanyol's death. This series will return fans of Cathedral of the Sea to familiar medieval territory, but it also stands on its own as a period drama with enough ambition, revenge, bloodshed, and belief. And it has 7.1 rating on IMDb. Number 5. Tokyo Vice. It is a crime drama series based on the 2009 book of the same name. The series is set in 1999 and follows an American student, Jake Adelstein, who has relocated to Tokyo and must pass a written exam in Japanese to have the chance to join the staff of a major Japanese newspaper. When he succeeds in becoming their first foreign-born journalist and starts at the very bottom, he is taken under the wing of a veteran detective in the Vice Squad, where he starts to explore the dark and dangerous world of the Japanese Yakuza. This series is a refreshing take on crime thrillers, exploring Japan's underworld and law enforcement from a young foreigner's perspective. Along with the brilliant story, the series is filled with thrilling moments that will have you on the edge of your seat. If you like crime dramas, then do not miss this show. And it has 90% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and 8.3 rating on IMDb. Number 4. Pacific Rim: The Black. The second season of this Japanese-American animated series was released on 19 April 2022. In case if you are new to this show, it is based on the Pacific Rim movie franchise and set far into the future, where a race of monsters called kaiju arises and overrun the continent of Australia. To fight back, humans have built gigantic armed robots called YAKAMOZ, but failed to stop the monsters, and the continent is abandoned, leaving only isolated pockets of survivors. While the main plot follows teenage siblings Taylor and Haley Travis, who are left behind by their parents, who leave to combat the kaiju but never return. 5 years later, Haley stumbles across a long-abandoned training Jaeger called Atlas Destroyer, which she and Taylor activate and set out on a quest to find their parents. If you like Pacific Rim movies, then you will enjoy this show. And the show has 85% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and 7 rating on IMDb. Number 3. Slow Horses. It is a spy thriller series based on the 2010 novel of the same name. The series follows British MI5 agent River Cartwright, who fails his training mission and is sent to the Slough House, the dumping ground department of MI5, to carry out paper-pushing tasks. Cartwright and his fellow employees must endure dull paper-pushing tasks and their miserable boss Jackson Lamb, who expects them to quit out of boredom and frustration. But when a young man is abducted and his kidnappers threaten to behead him live on the internet, River sees an opportunity to redeem himself, and he gets together with his co-workers and decides to get back on the field and prove himself and his team worthy once more. If you want to watch something unique and yet brilliant spy thriller, then this should be your pick. And the show has 94% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.8 rating on IMDb. Number 2. Russian Doll. It is a comedy drama television series created by Natasha Lyon. The series follows Nadia, a game developer who is on a journey to be the guest of honor at a party in New York City. But she gets caught in a mysterious loop as she repeatedly attends the same event and dies at the end of the night each time, only to awaken the next day unharmed, as if nothing had happened. As she tries to figure out what is happening to her, she meets a man who is experiencing exactly the same thing in a different event. Show gets super interesting as both of them tries to find a way out of this strange time loop. Overall, the show has fantastic story, which keeps you hooked till the end. And the second season was released on 20th April 2022 and has 96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. And the show has 7.8 rating on IMDb. Number 1. Outer Range. It is a supernatural neo-Western mystery thriller created by Brian Watkins. The story follows Royal Abbott, a Wyoming rancher who is struggling to keep his land while also trying to keep his family together after dealing with a painful loss. But one day while writing, Brolin discovers a mysterious black hole that doesn't seem to have a bottom, and everything changes. While the Abbott family copes with the disappearance of their daughter-in-law, Rebecca, they are pushed further to the brink when a rival family, the Tillersons, try to take over their land. This series is kind of Yellowstone meets Stranger Things, but overall, Outer Range is a Western sci-fi thriller that keeps viewers engaged with its intense story, backed by terrific performances by lead actor Josh Brolin. And the show has 78% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.8 rating on IMDb. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.